Brace yourself. Chas, you look great.
See that Diggs got traded?
Save it for the fucking show.
To whom?
Texans.
Ouch.
Say it.
Yes, he's
All
not
right,
right.
welcome back to the Son of a Boy Dad podcast. Today it is Wednesday, April 3rd. We are here live from HQ3. Stephon Diggs has been traded to the Texans per source.
Wow.
No Gabe Davis. No Stephon Diggs.
Falling apart.
What are the Bills going to do?
I don't know. I mean, they still have good tight ends, I guess.
Will you even masquerade as
And
a
they have a
Bills
good-
fans without their two top
no.
wideouts?
No, definitely not. I'm out.
You're all done with that?
I was done when Gabe left.
Right.
Yeah.
You like them because they like Shane Gillis.
I liked Gabe because I met him.
Didn't you meet other players on the team, though?
But yeah, but Gabe was like the best one that I met.
Best player or best guy?
Both.
Damn. I'm sorry for you. It breaks my fucking heart.
Actually, I guess I've met him a bunch. A couple times.
I guess you did.
So
You've
I guess I'm a
autographed-
Jags fan now.
Yeah.
It's like, never going to be a Jags fan. I hate Trevor Lawrence.
What about Texans fan? Texans have a bright future.
The
Texans, could
Texans
be-
look fucking good.
Should we smash a future on the Texans right now?
Maybe.
Would
they
that
look-
be smart?
Dude, their offense is insane.
Stroud, Tank,
Nixon,
Diggs, Mixon,
Mixon,
Richard
Whoa.
Milhouse,
Schultz,
Andrew,
Dalton. Right?
right? Reigning Rookie of the Year, and Will Anderson on defense. They add, man, they're stacked.
Stroud, Mixon, Diggs, Nico Collins, Tank Dell, and Dalton Schultz is their offense.
Holy shit. It's early in the episode to be talking ball, but what else are we to do?
I mean, we just broke. Can't ignore it.
move over part of my take.
Can't ignore it.
They're going to start having to come out on Thursdays
I know.
because we're going to fucking,
Well, people are going to listen to this and they're going to go, oh, shit, I guess I don't need to listen to part of my take tomorrow.
we're going to soak up all the NFL news.
Yeah. That's huge.
Yeah. I'd love to see part of my take with nuance like that.
Oh, yeah.
The big
Pretty
receiver.
fucking big.
And they only gave up a second round pick for him.
I know. They must have wanted him gone. He must have been causing some trouble in the locker room.
Yeah.
I mean, remember last year he wouldn't even show up to practice
Because he's so damn talented.
because he's so damn talented. I'm a Diggs guy. I like Diggs.
Yeah, because you see yourself in him.
Exactly.
Because you're so damn
'Cause
talented.
I'm so damn talented.
You're so Sam talented.
I know. I hope he wins. I hope the Texans win the Super Bowl.
As a Patriots fan, I
Well,
can't
no,
believe you're
I mean-
already giving up on the season.
Bro, the Patriots might not win a game.
Right.
I mean, they don't have anybody.
Right.
They don't have a single player on their team that's good.
Right.
Like, it's not even like, oh, well, at least like the Giants, it was like, well, at least they have Saquon Barkley. It's like, we don't have anybody.
You don't have a Saquon
Well, at least we have
Barkley.
Ramondre Stevenson. That's our best player.
That's so embarrassing.
And he was out this whole entire second half of the season last year.
That's so damn shameful.
I know.
A once great franchise fallen. It's like fucking the Roman Empire in like the 700s.
Yeah.
When it was completely disgraced.
I mean,
It was because the what they say, once people start dressing in different outfits and gender starts becoming more fluid, the empires fall.
empires fall.
I blame Mulvaney for the downfall of the Patriots.
I blame Caleb Williams and his fucking pink
Painted nails.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's the reason that he's the reason that
Yay!
he's the reason Belichick quit.
Was the theory that there's no theory that the quarterback can see the receiver's hands better if their nails are painted, right? It's not like a catcher in baseball.
It would have to be the receiver seeing the quarterback's hands better because the quarterback's hands were the ones that were painted.
Oh, okay. Didn't know that.
But it could be, I mean, there'd have to be some shit like that. I don't know. It's shameful.
Caleb Williams had matching nails in his phone case. He had a pink phone case with his pink nails.
Jack
People
Mack
were-
commented
People
on it.
were not happy.
But then he dragged Jack Mack and
Yeah, he
What?
flamed Jack. You didn't see this?
No.
Oh,
Number
he
one
went at
overall
Jack Mack
pick.
on the timeline. On
What is it?
Twitter.
What do you mean? Oh, wow.
Jack Mack quote tweeted it and said something, and then
Jack Mack
Caleb
is-
Williams called him ugly or some shit. It's crazy.
I'll tell you what. Jack Mack does not like men who don't act manly. He doesn't like it. I've
Yeah.
noticed that about him.
I would get that more from Jack Mack if he was like a construction worker or something. It's like, dude, you're a blogger. You can't be like mad at the state of like testosterone in men and then write for Barstool Sports.
Yeah, you gotta at least write standing up.
Yeah.
You gotta at least put a hard hat on and
Yeah.
fucking right under a beam or some shit like that.
Like your hands should have calluses all over them if you're going to be commenting on Caleb Williams' nail color.
Yeah, and I don't think even those guys give a fuck.
No.
They're too worried about welding, about getting the perfect weld,
Exactly.
about a beautifully shorn weld. I think Jack Mack does really well with the social stuff, but sometimes he falls into the talking points. And one thing that made me realize that recently, but some of the talking points crush engagement. But he did the one where it's like, what's going on with buildings? Like we used to have beautiful buildings, and now our buildings are stricken by brutalist architecture.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that that's kind of like a soft talking point because you look at some of the most modern and well-known buildings like the fucking Petronas Towers or the fucking Burj Khalifa. The Burj Khalifa is one of the most beautiful buildings ever built. And it's the biggest building. It's a technological wonder. There's like LED screens from top to bottom.
Where's the Burj Khalifa?
In
Dubai.
Dubai.
That's the big point.
Biggest building in the world, and it's like wondrously fucking constructed. It's not like this square block of brutalist architecture. I think it's just like these are just talking points that are guaranteed to do well. And to his credit, I'm sure he got millions of views on this video, but I just think that those talking points are kind of
yeah. I mean, it's just the same thing as being like the new generation is dumb and bad.
I think architecture is something where when you try as an architect to break the mold and move forward, almost more than any other, I guess, art form, it seems that it's always going to be despised until the opinion turns to embrace it. And I think of the Eiffel Tower, which was built by Gustave Eiffel for the World's Fair. And when it was erected in Paris, the Parisians hated it.
Oh, yeah.
Hated it.
yeah.
Because up to that point, as you guys probably know, Napoleon had constructed Paris in such a way that the architecture would be completely uniform. There really are no high rises in Paris.
Right.
And then out of nowhere, this phallic, metallic monstrosity just pierced the sky.
Yeah.
And they had planned to take it down after the World's Fair, I believe. But
Phallic Metallic Monstrosity sounds like a MF Doom album or something. That sounds fucking sick. But
Were you guys always under the impression when you were younger that the Eiffel Tower was the tallest building in the world?
I don't think so.
Like when I was like a child, I always was like, wow, the Eiffel Tower must be like a mile high.
Really?
It's really not that big.
No, it's not that big. And I think the Parisians would have liked it a lot more if they knew eventually that Brianna Chicken Fry would do TikTok dances in front of it.
True.
I think they would have been like, okay, there are redeeming qualities.
But they came around. They came around, and now they love it.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yes.
but I think they came around rather quickly.
What's not to love? It's beautiful.
It is an anomaly.
Kendrick Lamar says he wished his penis was the size of the Eiffel Tower.
He wishes it was a metallic phallic monstrosity.
Yes. That's what he meant when he said that.
That'd be tough to.
I pray
to
my
get around.
dick get big as the Eiffel Tower.
So that he could fuck the world for 72 hours.
I don't think that even is a one-to-one comparison.
Not even close.
Having a big dick doesn't mean you fuck longer.
No.
I think having a small dick might actually be more.
Oh, absolutely.
Having a big dick, all the blood goes there. You're woozy. An Eiffel Tower sized dick, and you think you're fucking for that long? Imagine he'd have to have like a fucking back girdle, like he was working on a factory floor.
Oh, yeah.
Think
Like he
of
was unloading boxes.
The size of the vagina you would need in order to accommodate it.
Well, I believe the size of the vagina was supposed to be the world. Was the vagina?
He'd have to be the last man
But
standing.
the world
in the Grand
has a
Canyon.
vagina in that thing.
Yes. The tectonic plates, brother.
Is that what we're to assume?
That's what I always assumed.
Well, if it is on that scale, then
I've never thought about it, to be honest.
then the Eiffel Tower is a micro penis. If we're talking about the entire world, then the world doesn't even feel the
True.
insertion
Yeah.
of the Eiffel
Yeah.
Tower. If it's that big, because they said if the world were like shrunken down to the size of a pool ball, it would be smoother than any pool ball in the entire realm of pool balls created.
Why do they say that?
Because it's
Because the
that's
things-
perfect of a circle. It's that smooth of a circle
Oh.
on a macro sense. And that pool balls have like small imperfections on a scale much bigger than something like the Eiffel Tower. So it's a micro penis.
That's interesting. I actually never heard that.
I hadn't either.
Really?
No.
fun fact.
Do you actually mean it's a fun fact, or are you
Yes,
taking
that is
the
a fun
piss?
fact.
Are
Yeah.
you taking the piss?
It is. It's interesting that like Mount Everest wouldn't even be like a little bit of a bump on the pool
Right.
on the
I
pool
thought
ball.
that shit was fascinating. You ever rub a pool ball across your cheeks? Or
Kind of makes me wonder how accurate that
Good
is.
try. You almost had that out. And then he had to do, his thing. What were you saying there? What? No, I've never rubbed a pool ball across my cheeks. What did you say?
What?
What did you say?
I said it kind of makes me wonder how accurate that is.
The fact?
Yes.
You think he's just having the
You
piss?
think I'm taking the piss?
I think you might be taking the piss.
Fuck you, dude. How dare you?
Whatever. Not a problem.
No.
Hey, want to play some pool again?
No, not even a little bit.
It
to be
got
honest.
closer the last time we played.
Yeah, that was beginner's luck. It was kind of like when you first get back into video games and you're really good, and then you get back to normal
Or how
level.
the casino lets you win your first bet.
Exactly. First time going to roulette in a while.
Roulette,
Roulette
as the French say.
or craps
Or crepes, as the French say.
or crepes.
It's a pancake game. Why don't they say roulette in France?
What do you mean? Roulette is a verb in French. And
Why wouldn't the T be a nice soft roulette?
It probably is.
Really?
Or maybe they spell it E-T-T-E in the French
like
version.
a tiny roulette.
Roulette.
We
But I
gotta-
don't know.
We got to go to France. We actually have to go to England. Bank some episodes.
I want to go to England really bad.
I want to go
Me
really
too.
bad.
I want to
Let's
go
go.
fishing out there.
Ugh.
That's where fly fishing was invented
Why? Why would we go there for that?
because it's beautiful.
You want to go to the Cotswolds?
I don't know anything about it. I don't know anything about England. I don't even know where the fishing is. I just know that it's supposed to be one of the best in the country.
Probably
Also,
the Cotswolds.
you think?
That's what I would guess.
All right, my Iceland trip is off as of 30 minutes ago. Did I tell you that we were thinking about going back?
Are you kidding?
No, I'm being dead serious. Did I not talk about that
I'd
yesterday?
say
No,
it
you
was
didn't.
probably
Why? What's going on?
half the episode.
You're thinking
yesterday.
about going back?
Well, no, I know we talked about Roan going. Did I talk about that we were going to go back?
No, you're thinking about going back?
Well, we're not anymore. It's off.
What?
Too expensive.
Damn, I just heard about this.
I know. So I guess if you got the news yesterday, no need to think about it any longer. It's off.
I've been thinking about it so much.
Yeah.
I retrieved my entire itinerary so we could trade notes.
Well, did you switch your itinerary up after yesterday?
No, but the other hotel we're going to is called the Hotel Ranga.
Oh yeah, I'm familiar.
No.
Would you just repeat the entire episode from yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, I bet you could.
Probably, for sure.
You just have that good of a memory
Oh yeah. Strong memory on me.
and that little of awareness of what you said.
That's true.
Let's get somewhere here.
I think we're all the same way with that, with the podcast.
Totally.
As soon as it
Let's-
ends, you forget everything.
Yeah, pretty much. Hey, what's going on? Sass.
I just said. I just got off the phone with my friends and we canceled our Iceland trip.
Why the fuck did you cancel it?
Too expensive.
You can't
much
subsidize
isk.
them this year?
Hell no, not for this.
No?
No, we were gonna go to one of those lodges and go fishing, but it's like 19,000 isk a day per person.
Isk?
Yeah, are you familiar with the currency?
No, I've never been.
You got to get up on the currency.
Really?
It makes no sense
What's
at
the
all.
conversion
What's
rate?
that trading at right now?
Yeah.
I don't know. They use decimals instead of commas.
What? That gives me the isk.
So yeah, yeah. So you look up like it's 19.9 isk per day per person, and we look it up and I'm like, oh, that's only 14 cents a day. So we assumed it was very cheap, and then you realize that it's a comma instead, and then you're like, oh, it's $200 a day
That
$200 a day
per person.
to go to that lodge?
Yeah, and then it's not even including like permits or anything.
How long are you going for?
We want to go for a week. We're just gonna go to Wyoming.
let's just open up a GoFundMe. I feel like we got to get you boys out there.
You're
I got
telling
the
me
money.
it's $1,400 per person for you and your friends each to go to Iceland for a week?
Just to stay at that place. Just to stay at the lodge.
Doesn't seem that bad. I'm not being.
Well, my friends are poor as fuck.
Why don't you pay $500 for each of them?
Because I did that last year and it was a lot of money.
You make a lot of money though. You're one of the 250.
Yeah, but
kill on
with
the road.
with the tour dates I got coming up, I don't know if I can swing that. I need all the hundreds I can get. A lot of tickets left for Providence this weekend. Come on out. A lot of tickets available. If you are listening to this today, which will be Thursday, one show tonight, pretty much every ticket is left. So no rush. You could probably buy them at the door.
If you're immunocompromised, tonight's the show you want to come to.
Yeah.
You'll have your own table.
You'll have your
Yeah.
own row, honestly. You can get a whole row to yourself.
Damn, your shows have rows?
Oh, yeah.
They have seats like that?
Yeah.
I thought it was like all like tables and stuff like that. You could order mozzarella sticks.
I guess now you're probably right. It probably will be just rows, right? Or tables.
It's tables in
At
Providence.
Providence, at the Comedy Connection.
Yeah.
Slaughterhouse.
It doesn't sound like it.
It is.
Sounds like a shut down slaughterhouse.
It's one of those rooms where you can do well even if there's only 5 people in the crowd.
Vonnegut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love Vonnegut.
Tyson chicken processing plant.
Bonnaroo's held on I think a Tyson chicken processing plant. And then there's a festival that goes on right there. Where
Really?
the chickens have recently been genocided.
Oh, no.
That's near Nashville, right?
I think it's maybe, yes, Manchester, Tennessee, I think is
Oh,
the
it's
town.
Tennessee. Okay.
But
Wow.
it is, I mean, Nashville, it is
I don't
Tennessee.
hear much about those music festivals anymore. I feel like they had their heyday and have passed. But maybe I'm just aged out, so I'm not keeping
That's why I don't
No,
know.
I kind of agree.
Coachella, Bonnaroo.
Rolling Loud,
Yeah, the one that's outside Lands.
Lollapalooza.
Lollapalooza.
No, what's the one that's really deep? The one where like all the people, like Chris Rock was there last year. I remember they were like escorting him off because it was flooding.
Burning Man.
Burning Man.
Burning Man.
Burning Man. People still go to Burning Man, I think, because it's a very different experience.
But isn't that not even a music festival?
It's not.
It's not. I thought it was like an EDM festival. Oh, it's just
It's
a drug
a
fest.
massive sort of hallucinogenic retreat.
They just stand in a circle in the forest. But I do kind of agree that it has. I used to go to festivals. I used to crush festivals.
Well, I think after that guy opened fire on that one festival, it kind of took away the glamour.
The one in Las Vegas.
Or
Yeah.
the one in Israel.
That one was bad.
Especially because then he was like, well, it was supposed to be Lollapalooza. And then everyone was like, well, never going to Lollapalooza again.
Some artist recently just said that he was like, I think Rolling Loud is for kids, and which is the one in L.A.
Coachella?
Coachella's for
Well,
adults.
Coachella's not in LA.
Fuck,
Palm
what?
Springs.
Oh, Palm Springs.
Sorry, bro.
No,
Clip that.
I fucking embarrassed myself.
Get that out on the main page.
That's the worst thing that could happen to a know-it-all like me. I come from a long line of know-it-alls, though. I can't blame myself for being a know-it-all. My
No.
sister's a know-it-all. My mom's a know-it-all. My grandmom was probably a know-it-all.
Definitely.
Her forefathers were probably know-it-alls. It's tough to break the cycle of being a know-it-all.
Exactly. No, but I agree. I think Coachella is definitely taking a hit. I don't think people want to go. I think it's all like influencers now, right?
It was like the breeding ground for the original influencers.
Yeah.
It was like a bacteria. Women would wear these broad-brimmed hats and shirts with tassels on it, like hearkening back to the 70s or whatever. Like that was the first place where people were wearing turquoise and shit
Yes.
like that.
Yeah.
Exactly. How
Whereas-
does Coachella work if you're a normal person? Is it super expensive?
I don't even think you can go.
If you're a civilian?
Buy a pass. Just go.
But they like all the influencers, they get put up at these like crazy like
Tents.
Airbnbs.
They got the VIP stuff.
Air-conditioned tents like they're in a goddamn Harry Potter.
Maybe
Yeah.
we should go this year and do a little like investigation piece.
What happened to...
What happened to Coachella?
Yeah, I mean, you probably can't even bring in cameras. Maybe you could bring in
That's
a tiny
not a bad idea.
No.
What framing it as though it's and just asking all the people who are there like how disappointed are you to have come
Yeah,
after,
gaslight
like
them.
when it's on the way down
Yeah.
just ruin everyone's
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
one. You're so late.
They flew across the country and saved up all their money to go. And
Yeah.
we're like, how bad is this? You're having a terrible time, huh?
These artists suck. Music's not even good anymore.
You're not on Molly, that's meth. You were given meth.
It's not MDMA. That's MDA. I have bad news for you. Did you guys ever go to festivals or anything like that?
No, well, one time I went to a Dead Mau 5 concert and he wasn't even on when I left.
Yeah, they
I
don't
le-
go on until goddamn 4
I
in the
left
morning.
early. All these people I was with were doing, the lab drugs and I wasn't into that. So I just had a hard time and left.
euphoric sense when you walk into one of those is great because Bonnaroo's on a farm.
Yeah.
So I'd be there with my boys Mike and they'd be fucking walking in through these fucking gates, this archway as you walk in. They're like, we're back on the farm.
Yeah.
Going fucking nuts. So excited about it. So if you caught people at that initial sense of euphoria and were like, can you believe how fucking shitty it is this year?
Yeah.
You could really take the wind out of people's sails.
Right when they walk in.
Yeah.
That would ruin someone's entire... Not to go back to Iceland, but that reminds me of when we went to Iceland and we went to customs and the guy was like, little early in the season, huh? First thing they say to us as we walk in. And we were
Crazy.
instantly, it's like you're still smiling, but you're like, we fucked up big time. You're like, no, that guy's can't be right. He only lives here every single day of the year.
Works for the government. I went to Sensation White, I just remembered, in Copenhagen. That was pretty cool.
European festivals have to be a whole other beast. Tomorrowland, the one that's in Belgium, that looks amazing.
I think
Is that the EDM one?
the one night concerts are great. A whole weekend, 3-day, 4-day thing, I could not handle.
Those people who do those are like ultra marathons.
You got it. Exactly.
Yeah.
You have
Yeah.
to be a super athlete to be able to do that mentally.
You have to like drugs on a level where you exist in the state of wanting to recreate and rechase that high.
I can't imagine getting so insane, like day drinking, getting fucked up, and then also taking like Molly and then sleeping in a tent and then waking up the next morning and not wanting to kill yourself.
It's my nightmare. I can't watch that Woodstock 99 documentary.
Oh, it's good.
I've seen it,
Oh,
but I couldn't watch the second one they made.
I didn't know there was a second.
There was one that was on HBO and then there was one that was on Netflix.
Oh, yes.
And I couldn't, when everyone said, you should watch the other one, it gives a different perspective. And I couldn't handle exactly what you just described. Putting myself in the shoes of those kids, knowing that they were sleeping and slipping around in filth
And shit.
and fecal water and, day after day, dehydrated.
And they didn't even have that. It was still like ecstasy then. Molly wasn't even invented.
No.
It was like there was all pressed pills and there was always something bad in it. I guess
Meth.
fentanyl wasn't invented either.
It was just meth.
It was just sweet meth. But there was probably some kind of euphoric. It wasn't just regular old meth.
But if you're seeing Korn live, meth probably isn't the worst option.
Yeah, it might be the best.
It might be awesome. Like
it might be
accidentally
the
doing
ideal
meth
way
and
to do
seeing
meth.
Korn. Yeah.
Fucking
Getting whiplash
headbanging,
from headbanging.
just moshing. And those mosh pits looked violent.
Using your head as a weapon.
Yeah. Torpedoing in like Ralph
Not
Wiggum.
putting your head down and pinwheeling your arms, connecting with someone's face and them not being mad. Because
That-
that's what they signed up for.
That must be, I mean, the moshing and the dancing must be how people kind of get through it because you're burning so many calories. If you're on those types of drugs, maybe acid or days of even at the lightest Adderall, you're just dancing for like 18 hours straight. So you're just leaning down and sweating it all out.
But how do you not go back into your tent after that and not just have like the most insane, like nervous breakdown
You do.
of all? Like I would be in the tent like vibrating.
I think these people were pushing themselves to the point when they finally got back to the tent, they would just fall asleep. They were so tired.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The first time I went to Bonnaroo, I was in college. I've been 3 times. The first time I went, I was in college, and my boy and I, we went, and I didn't even have a fucking tent. We stayed with strangers. We just fucking pulled up and we just stayed with strangers under like their canopy in the front. My boy drove down from New York with a fucking cab driver, and he had like a little pillowcase full of fucking like the most ecstasy pills of all fucking time. I didn't do drugs at this time, and thank fucking God, because the random people that we stayed with were like rocking back and forth from the ecstasy, like not even Swiss cheese brain, just like a fucking paper towel roll sized hole through the middle of their brain.
Yeah.
Then I went back with some buddies after college, and like I was like, yeah, we got to go. It would be sweet. And I was kind of doing drugs then, not really. And then the third time I went, on the first day, before we even went into the festival, we parked our car and I tried to do it all at once. And it all hit me like a fucking ton of I was like taking acid and whatever. I got into the festival before we even saw the first musical act. It all hit me, not in a cool way. It all just hit my stomach. I was on mushrooms. I was on acid, weed, and alcohol. And I was like, I need to shit.
Yeah.
I need to shit right now.
Oh.
Luckily, the porta potties hadn't been
defiled yet.
I was fresh to the porta potties, but I was like going through it. I didn't even know where I was, and I put down one of those the liners to try and
I've never used one of those.
Sop up.
Yeah, I just wanted to be as safe as possible. There was nasty things going on inside of my mind, but I sat down on the liner and I just started dumping, but I didn't know. And I didn't realize until afterwards, I didn't know if you're supposed to rip through the middle of the liner. And I just didn't know what was happening to my body. So I thought that I was literally just shitting on a piece of wax paper and it was just smushed up against my ass like a fucking diaper. I was like positive that this was what was happening. And I couldn't like check back to see. I just had no idea what the sensations inside my body were. I didn't know if I was diapering myself in my own shit on the first day of the festival or if I was actually doing it right because I'd never used one of those before. Turns out I was doing it right.
It was going through.
The shit was heavy enough that it ripped through. I didn't have a light little bit shit, but it was a terrifying drug experience. I felt so bad.
Yeah, it doesn't sound fun at all.
It was not
and you
fun.
never went back after that?
I went back to the car and I fucking sat in the back seat of a minivan for maybe like 8 hours, just like hugging myself. It was fucking terrible. It was as bad of a drug experience as you can have.
Sweet Jesus.
One of the last times I smoked ganja was I went to a Slightly Stupid concert in Maine.
No.
After I graduated high school. And we got super drunk before, and then we got there early, and we were front row, and everyone was passing around a joint. And I was like that, like young, when you're like really young and you're drunk and you're kind of just being like crazy and silly. And I never smoked weed. I hated weed. I knew I hated weed then. And I like grabbed the joint. I hit it like 10 times, passed it. And then I had to go just lay in the grass for the rest of the concert and miss the entire show. That was before like the openers hadn't even gone on yet. People were still filing in. And I was just laying in the grass all the way in the back of the venue.
But as bad as these stories are, it's almost crazier the people who raw dog these festivals and concerts and do no drugs.
Oh yeah,
and there's tons of them.
Yeah, they're called predators.
I think a fucking quarter of the people might be on zero drugs.
Oh yeah,
and they're just like dancing like harder. They're like, "What is that guy on?" And his life is the answer. Yeah. He's just on life.
I think those people something terrible happened in their life where it's like that. They're like. The music is genuinely like saving them.
Don't you worry, child, because heaven's got a plan for you.
Going to like an going to like what was that one? The big EDM one.
Tomorrowland.
Electric Daisy. Oh,
yeah, that one too. Where's
Electric
that?
Forest.
That one's here in New York. It's on the island.
Yeah,
Governor's
Roosevelt Island.
Going to one of those sober. Like you should
dancing
be
so hard that you're like bringing your knee
right?
up by your like face. You're like fucking.
You should be studied in a lab.
Yeah.
What am I talking about? There's one that's out you got to take the boat to. And I don't think it's on Randall's Island. What's that? Gov Ball. Well done, Diego. We've got a young man there.
What was the one that you were... I think the one that you were saying is in Florida.
Electric Daisy? No, that's Bauhaus, Art Basel.
Art Basel. And that's almost like a combination with like people are just looking at paintings as well.
Yeah, yeah.
But that one's influencer heavy too.
Yeah.
Gaz is in there.
Oh, yeah. Gaz, I bet. We could go to... if we could go to Coachella with Gaz and he could like get us in on the inside scoop, figure out what's going on
Gaz
behind
and Dante
behind the scenes.
to get us in.
Yeah.
That's the ideal crew. They just take their shirts off as soon as they get in.
Yeah. Dante's on the monster stage right now on the ones and twos. Spinning some tracks. Dante just hit the Dante's on the box water stage right now.
It is all the most corporate of corporate sponsorships. Yeah. Everyone's like freedom and love and Powerade.
And there's EMTs running around holding people, and they're like, "Get him over to the Red Bull tent, stat."
Freedom and love and Rocket Mortgage.
Rent app.
Who we love.
This guy OD'd on heroin. Bring him over to the rent app tent. Stat. They got Narcan over there.
The Rent App Medic tent.
the BetterHelp tent.
Who we love. Who we actually love.
We do love BetterHelp.
We love
Jazz
them.
is over listening to Buster Rhymes, hoping he doesn't sweat through his blackface. Wearing a turtleneck, just covering every other part of his body.
You know what I love about those music festivals is the people that sneak in like a month prior and like bury a bottle of vodka.
That shit rules.
Oh,
That's crazy.
That's cool.
Yeah. We should go do a piece on those people. We should camp out like a month in advance of Coachella and catch the people who are burying the bottles.
There is a music festival in Philly called Made in America.
Yeah.
You've been to it? Yeah. They put me on the cover of their website. That's love. They put you on the cover of the website. I went the first year, and on the second day, I was like broke. I had no fucking money. And I like climbed a fence, and then I climbed another fence and fucking like snuck in. Like,
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that I had made it in. And I saw a girl that I knew, and this girl named Kate Klein, and she was like, "Did you just jump the fence?" She was disgusted. She's like, I was like, "Yeah, how fucking sick is that?" She's like, "I'm working the festival."
Oh, no.
I should arrest, like, or you like should be in trouble. Probably the last time I ever talked to her, she was so disgusted because I guess I was too old to be jumping the fucking fence at Made in America. I was proud of myself at the time.
Never too old to jump the fence.
Yeah, fuck that.
You're too old to jump the fence when you can't jump the fence.
It was sponsored by Budweiser. Like, dude, I'm pretty sure they were okay with money. Like, they didn't need my fucking
With one extra
125 that would have
person.
put me in the poorhouse. I needed to get into that goddamn festival. She was so disgusted.
I don't like that Kate Klein girl.
I'm frustrated at how badly she made me feel.
We should get her on the podcast. We could really break this down.
I mean, it was embarrassing for me because I was proud of myself, and then immediately was fucking robbed of me.
I would start sweating as soon as that
I
happened.
start climbing out.
Yeah.
It was such a fucking ballsy sneak in. I climbed 2 fences and like looked each way. I was in the clear. Huh?
You have to throw the carpet over the fence.
Yeah, like Fight Club. My bag of fat that I was using to
dripping.
make soap was fucking spilling all over the place. Festivals, I mean, at that time ruled. You didn't really get that hungover. Now in our old age.
Yeah, I used to go to this festival in Massachusetts every year. Levitate.
Was it a real festival, or that was probably like one where you sit on the lawn and listen to a bluegrass
No, it was pretty
player?
big. It would be like, I think it was like 20,000 people.
That's legit.
Yeah, it was pretty big. They had the last year that I was supposed to go was Jack Johnson was supposed to be the headliner, but then COVID happened.
There you go.
Like Hank's been a bunch.
I saw Jack Johnson at Bonnaroo, which isn't really that hardcore at all.
No, it was a reggae festival.
competition of what you could put on
the back
of a postcard.
Yeah, that's why I've only ever seen reggae live. That's the only the only other concert I've ever been to was Cousin Stiz, which
That's in Boston?
Tyler definitely knows Cousin Stiz.
Oh yeah, he came in Barstool a couple times.
Oh really?
We did like a sketch with Cousin Stiz.
I hope he's
Tyler
doing well.
Coley and Cousin Stiz.
Really?
It was like a recreation of that commercial where the guy snitches on himself for touching that ball that went out of bounds.
Oh
He's
yeah,
like, I touched the ball, coach.
Coach,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
touched
yeah.
the ball. Wait, did you?
And they just beat the shit out of the guy.
Yeah.
in the sketch.
When did you guys do that?
Probably 5 years ago.
Damn, Stiz. Yeah, I saw him live at the House of Blues. It was awesome.
Massachusetts only rapper.
Yeah, it was sick.
Joyner Lucas.
And
That's it.
what about Slane?
We were like 16. We were
Sammy
drinking
Adams.
Hennessy, waiting in
What
line.
about Sammy Adams and Slane, bro? What about our white brothers?
Token. What about Token?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, my voice is videographer.
Really? Is he still kicking it?
Still kicking it.
Damn.
They think he's Boyan Bogdanovic in the Hawks.
Yeah, Token does look like Boyan Bogdanovic. Hit him with the rhythm and a...
I never got into Token. I just remember he was on the cover of like the Boston Globe one day, and they were like, "Token is sweeping the nation." Sammy Adams was probably the biggest out of those three.
What movie was Token in?
Sammy Adams was pretty huge. That one song.
Nah, bro.
You mean that one song that he had was like mainstream big?
You mean he was on BarstoolSports.com?
No, no. Is that really?
I
Do you
hate
know Sammy
college.
Adams? Yeah. That was a huge song, wasn't it?
No, I Love College was the big song, and then
That was
fucking-
Asher Roth.
Yeah, he was big. He was actually mainstream.
No, I know. And then
He
he
was
put
managed by
out
Scooter
he
Braun.
put out the other one.
He was in the freshman class for Vibe magazine or
Yeah,
whatever the fuck.
Source.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
I stayed at my mom's this weekend, and I forgot that I was in the Source magazine.
You were in that?
Not the freshman, whatever, but I like cut it out and like framed it and gave it to my mom. It's like, fucking here, mom.
That's
Your boy
cool.
made it. But this was
cool.
like at a time when like print media was dying.
Mm-hmm.
You, like needed
They did a
like,
piece about me in the Ledger this week.
Yeah. Your boy made it.
I used to subscribe to Slam magazine.
Yeah, Slam magazine was a good one. They're still like putting out like Slam covers like it's like a fucking badge of honor.
Yeah.
It's print media. Sports Illustrated is dead. Do you think Slam magazine is doing it? You think
Right.
East Bay is fucking
I used to
making
collect
waves?
the XXL magazines.
Yeah, XXL was another one. Or was that the freshman one? Or yeah, I think
Yeah.
freshman XXL was freshman, and then Source
Yeah.
was. I remember when it would come out every year, or I'd be like looking at like they're saying this person might make it.
Oh yeah.
Fucking Sci-Hi made it.
Yeah, I used to like have like I would used to like write like long threads on Twitter about like why this person didn't deserve to get it.
Who? I wonder who you were hating on.
I don't know. I was like
Shouldn't have made
really into like the underground rap scene for a while.
Yeah, Nipsey shouldn't have made it.
Yeah. I was big into,
I
like,
bet you were hating
Puya.
on Nipsey Russell, bro.
No, I was a
Wait
big
till
like
the Rolling 60s hear you about this now, bro.
I was white. I was the white underground scene. No, I guess I liked some black guys too, like Xavier Wolf. I was a big Xavier Wolf fan. I was a big Puya fan. Fat Nick, Suicide Boys, Juicy J.
Oh yeah, real underground, bro.
Well, I know Juicy J is not underground, but he started working
The rest of
with
the guys,
Suicide
I don't
Boys.
know who the fuck you're talking about, so that counts as underground.
You don't know Xavier Wolf?
No,
Shit, someone check this guy.
I wouldn't
Xavier
fuck with
Wolf
it.
was like the king
Are
of
you saying Xavier or Xavier?
I don't know.
If he pronounces it Xavier, I'm not gonna fuck with him. If it's Xavier, maybe I'll give him a chance.
I don't know, but he was like the king of the underground rap scene.
No,
Him and Puya.
no.
You don't know Puya?
I have no Puya, but not intimately familiar like you are. I've heard you mention him a couple times.
Yeah, well, I used to be a huge fan.
Damn.
What happened?
And then I realized that doing heroin wasn't actually as cool as I thought it was.
I used to be a big Slug Christ fan. He
Slug
did-
Christ. I was a Slug Christ guy.
And because he
I-
was doing heroin in his videos.
I couldn't. I always hated Slug Christ.
You just said you were a big fan of his.
I was kidding. That guy would, every song he was on, I would be like, what is this, dude?
No, when he had that song with Keith Ape,
I don't know.
and he was like rapping in Korean,
Slug Christ was nuts, dude. He was like scary.
and because he was literally doing heroin in his
Yeah.
videos.
Yeah. Is he still around? There's no way.
He was in the the Lil Peep documentary.
Oh, that's not surprising.
But then, like all of Lil Peep's friends were like, "Yeah, Lil Peep was hanging out with the wrong people," and it would just cut to Slug Christ being like, "Heron,
Yeah, his voice. Yeah. That's what his voice was. Yeah.
My friends don't like me because I do the fucking heron."
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, he was terrible. I hated him.
I gotta start doing heroin to get my rap career to the next level.
There was a song with the Suicide Boys called Mount Sinai, and it was with Slug Christ, and the Suicide Boys part was awesome, and then Slug Christ came in at the end and like didn't have a great verse.
I wish you could see this guy, Francis.
What?
You used to cut out the parts of songs you didn't like and just re-upload them to your Apple.
Oh yeah. I would cut out people's verses on iTunes because that was back when all your music was just on iTunes, and then you could just connect it to your laptop and it would be gone.
Oh, Hanja.
I don't know. I don't know that song.
Okay.
I think the only Slug Christ song I knew was
Because you stuck in the year 2K15 or 2K16 or whatever the fuck year it is.
You're just gonna get us demonetized?
Might.
I just need 1 second of it. It's as bad as music gets, I think. Slug yeah.
If it doesn't have a label, you should be cool.
I don't know how you know Slug Christ, but you don't know the other people that I was talking about. Slug Christ was not even big. All right.
Say something,
Turn
bro.
it off. It's so bad. It's bad that it like
Okay,
actually it makes me
okay.
uncomfortable to listen to.
It's just if this guy has a label, it's got to be the funniest thing possible. A guy in like pinstripe pants and like a white button up with slick back hair, being like, "I think the kids are going to be really into hoke."
We got a meeting with Slug today.
Slug Christ is going to jump up on the conference room table and rap for us. It should be fucking dope.
And shoot up in front of us.
Kids are really into this, so we're going to give him some heroin. The only thing he had on his rider was some black tar heroin, so we're going to give it to him. So preposterous.
Slug
Christ, dude.
I used to try and play Slug Christ at like parties.
That's
in
a
high school.
surefire way to scare the hoes.
It was. I look back on it a lot and cringe heavily.
Okay. Slug.
I used to think I was so cool for listening to that music. I was like, yeah, everyone else is listening to like the Beatles. Fucking losers. And now I listen to all that music, and I don't listen to any of the music I used to listen to.
Wouldn't it be nice to listen to the Beatles? I have to listen to this Slug Christ.
Yeah. If only Hey Jude did it for me. Unfortunately, I need Hoke instead. That's the only thing that really scratches my itch.
Slug Christ, just this edgelord. This edgelord heroined out 5'3" teenager.
Yeah, I don't think that music's really meant for 13-year-old boys who live in rich Massachusetts suburban neighborhoods.
But like ironically it is.
Yeah, it's true.
Ironically, that's the only people that it's for. He probably had as much to do with the opioid crisis as the Sackler family.
I don't think so. I mean, what was his monthly listeners on Spotify?
I mean, Hoke only has 500,000 career listens.
It's not
Pop Punk
bad.
has more listens.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because Hoke was, 18.9 thousand monthly listeners. Not bad.
Not great though.
20,000 people a month are listening to him.
You gotta hope things get better for Slug.
For Slug Christ, I hope Slug finds Christ.
I know. Are the Suicide Boys still making music?
I'm not looking it up, bro.
Tyler?
No idea.
You're definitely a suicide. You don't have to lie. We know you're a Suicide Boys guy.
I don't know one song.
I'm not into suicide or heroin anymore, bro. I
Same.
I gave my life to Jesus.
I did listen to some Suicide Boys the other day, and I was like, this shit is actually pretty good.
This
Did you-
is what they look like?
Yeah.
Did you go to mass on Easter?
No.
Pussy.
Did you?
Not this year, but I have before.
Did you?
No, I'm not Catholic.
Oh, really?
No.
What are you?
I guess Protestant, Episcopalian.
Episcopalian.
Per my, I don't know.
I used to always be jealous of the Episcopalians.
Why?
The
All
red
my
door.
friends were Episcopalian.
Yeah, I mean, we that was just the church we had in our town. We stopped going when I was probably 8.
Oh, shit. So you haven't been in a while.
The women priests were what did it for me. I was like, holy fuck, they're cool as shit.
Oh, I didn't know they had women priests.
I liked that they let the priest be married and have sex.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Probably saved a lot of kids.
Exactly, right? It should be like that.
You notice when you went to Sunday school that they were not. They seemed satisfied.
Yeah.
The priests.
They weren't backed up at all.
Yeah, they didn't have this like clawing horniness.
Yeah.
It's just like ripping a hole in their garments.
Why do you think the priests need to fuck kids and not just adults?
This is what the whole movie Spotlight was about. Was that there was like a scientific correlation between, being forced to not have sex and then developing these perversions or whatever.
Makes sense.
It's also probably systemic in some ways.
Yeah, it goes
where
down.
it's like if
The
you were
OGs were
molested
doing
as a
it.
kid,
Yeah.
it goes to the next level.
Well, there's that
Yeah.
really creepy scene in Spotlight where when she talks to that one priest, and he's there like, "Did you molest this guy?" And he's like, "Of course." Remember? And he's smiling, and he's like, "But I never got any pleasure from it."
Oh, I don't remember that.
It's
I haven't seen. I
super
only saw that
creepy.
movie once. The scene that I always think back on is in Mystic River when Tim Robbins, as a kid,
Yeah, when he gets in the car with the priests.
and they drive off, and then
Yeah.
he's like, he gets brought to the shed or
Yeah,
something, and
yeah.
the priest comes. Ugh,
That movie is creepy as fuck.
it's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough to watch.
It's truly a horrific institution, the Catholic Church, because
Yeah.
like the letters were released and they would like be writing about the kids in long form handwritten letters being like, oh yes, there's a willing participant in this parish.
Yeah,
It's like, what?
yeah.
they're like writing back to the Vatican. It's getting sent over the Atlantic Ocean to talk about who they fucking molest.
It's surprising that it survived it.
Right. What the fuck? I always used to be so against it that I would be like railing against the Catholic Church and how evil it is that like people would be like, dude, did you get molested? I was like, no, it's just fucking disgusting that like people act like this is just like, oh, we're going to go to church and sing a song. There's going to be a guy with a guitar at the front and there's like literal ghosts of molestation in this building.
The outcry happened and then it passed and then it just became fodder for comedians.
Yeah, exactly. It just became a joke.
And now people kind of just still go to Catholic
Like lacrosse
church.
players are still there with their full family of nesting dolls looking exactly the same as one another. No offense to lacrosse players,
None taken.
but there are lacrosse players in church.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It is weird though, and it is weird how it's such common knowledge that you can make a joke about it and everyone gets it instantly.
Oh, yeah.
Like there's no one out there that doesn't know that priests molest kids.
Right. And now all the priests just got like shuffled around. Now they're just in Arizona.
And it's being a Catholic, I think, is very personal and is a source of identity and pride for a lot of Catholics, obviously. And for them to have to just take that joke,
Yeah.
because it's such a fucked up joke, and for them to go to comedy shows and know that they're going to probably hear a Catholic priest
Right.
child pedophile joke.
You just got to be like, ah.
Yeah, well, we did that. Yeah,
I'll be at church this Sunday,
shucks.
though. I'll give 10% of my paycheck, though.
Oh, shucks.
I used to do a
tithe.
joke like that. I used to joke about the priests, and I stopped doing it because it was just too uncomfortable. I didn't like the reactions it got. It would do well, but it was like I just felt like bad doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's at the expense of something very evil.
Yeah.
And then Penn State gets those jokes, and it was only one dude. I mean, it was every priest.
Yeah.
Classic Penn State guy.
Tough. That's tough.
Classic
But I'm saying
Penn
we have to
State
eat
guy.
those jokes, too.
We don't deserve it.
Yeah, right, dude. I pull up the pic of Sass in his Penn State sweater.
Bruh.
Bro, what?
I was grooming. I was getting groomed by you at Penn State.
No, you were grooming the next generation.
we went to Penn State and instantly it just came right back to you. Let me get this kid in a Penn State sweatshirt.
Here's some ice cream, son.
Yeah.
Sit on my knee.
I mean, listen, Roan, in your defense, I think Sass making these jokes is a little played out. You know,
Yeah.
I just wish he would go the extra 7 miles.
Yes.
Rowan used to make a bunch.
you
of
get
Sandusky.
that?
No, not at all.
I had a feeling.
What is it?
The 7th mile was the charitable organization that Sandusky ran, which brought kids in for football, which is where he
Where
preyed
he
upon
molested them. Damn.
Right? Or was it the second mile?
Second
Fuck!
mile.
No wonder
That
you
was
didn't
so
get it.
funny.
I would've
But
got-
you wouldn't have
see,
got it.
see,
No,
I
you
knew-
fucking
No,
wouldn't.
see,
Don't you dare.
I knew second mile.
No,
and when
you
you said
didn't.
7th mile, it threw me off. I was like, what, like the Eminem movie?
Damn it.
Oh no, that's 8 Mile. Fuck.
You know what? I have to eat that. I'm going to have to eat that.
It was so good though, and it was right there.
It was there, and I fumbled it.
Damn it.
Fumbled it right in the
It
shower.
was damn good. One of my boys,
Got molested by Sandusky.
no, he got offered out or like Sandusky wanted to bring
He
him
wanted
to
him.
a football camp,
Was
like
he
a
a good-looking
linebackers
kid?
camp. He was pretty cute.
Did you watch that Paterno miniseries on HBO?
Where Al Pacino plays him. It's so funny.
Is it good?
Is it not good? I don't remember. I mean, I watched it. The scene that really stuck with me was that one of the kids that accused him got bullied at school because everyone in that town loves Penn State so much that they were beating up the kids that were accusing Sandusky.
They were
and
molesting them.
bringing down the program.
I'll really molest you. You want to bring down state? That's literally how that entire town was brainwashed. People who didn't
That's
even go there.
crazy, yeah.
Like I would argue with people who I graduated with. I was like, why are you defending him? It's so weird to defend him.
Dude, it's weird.
You stake your reputation on this.
You ever
I can
get
see
in an
doing it
argument?
for Diddy.
Yeah, exactly. Or Michael Jackson.
Right.
You
Someone
ever get in an
made
argument
great
with
art.
someone about Michael Jackson? They
Oh,
just put their
yeah.
foot down. They're like, that didn't happen. It's like, oh, were you there?
People are like on Twitter.
It's
Wildly
crazy.
defensive over Michael Jackson.
It's such a strange hill because, you know, it either did or it didn't. I guess only a handful of people know
I guess
for
we'll
sure.
never know.
And I think having a strong stance one way or another, if you're wrong, you are denying one of the most horrific things ever.
Right.
I will say there was like an article came out a couple years ago that was like some girl was like suing Bob Dylan for like fucking her when she was like 14, and this was like in like the 60s or something. It was like so long ago, and I was like, no fucking way, Dylan would never do that.
Yeah.
And I was like, I actually he could have done that for sure. I have no idea.
I like him though.
I was just like, I like his music, so I'm gonna say he didn't do it.
I like the one song that he made, so
Yeah.
I believe
Well, he has
he's
a lot of
incapable
songs.
of crime.
I mean, that's kind of how you are with Sandusky.
I was literally the first person to condemn him. I remember the exact day when it started coming out.
Were you at Penn State when it came out?
Mm-mm.
You were graduated already?
I graduated, but I remember where I was at the house in Manayunk, and I remember when it came on TV, and my boy Mike, I was sitting there with my boy Mike, and he was like, he'll
Which
tell
could
you
be
to this day.
multiple. It could be anyone.
Yeah, it could be anyone. Mike Sandusky. Could be. But I was condemning him within the fucking second. I was like, fuck that dude.
Yeah.
And I would engage in debates with these other kids from fucking Penn State who were like defending him. For what reason?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't know. It's the same thing. You don't know if he knew or not.
Yeah.
How could he not know?
I don't know.
Dude, 10 years later at Penn State, they're doing the same shit. I'm like, yo, you guys were like 12 when this happened, like I was. Like, you don't know anything.
You have no
Yeah.
idea. It's so
Right.
insane.
Is it still a massive topic of discussion there?
Yeah. When my very first day at Penn State, I saw this like giant Joe Pa fathead at some random like party I went to. Some guy like elbowed me. He's like, you know, he didn't really know, right? I'm like, dude, come on.
Joe
Yeah.
Pa is the Confederate flag of Penn
Dude,
State.
they were everywhere. They took down one statue and then put up a million fatheads.
He's part of our history, okay?
These colors don't run. It was for states' rights.
Yeah.
It didn't represent slavery.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't actually lose any of those games.
He brought us 2 championships. If it's going to take a couple kids down, it's worth it.
Did they win 2 championships when Sandusky was the coach?
I think so.
Damn. All right. See, now you got me on. I'm kind of which side do I want to take?
Right.
Yeah.
Winning's winning. I mean, it's like Belichick cheating.
Exactly.
Spygate.
Yeah. It's exactly like Spygate.
They said the dude, Mike McCreary, he walked in on it happening in the showers.
Yeah.
And then he immediately just went and like got a slice of pizza.
What?
Isn't that true? He like went to like Canyon Pizza, the place where it's dollar slices,
Oh
and just
my
like
God.
sat down and ate a slice of pizza to think about it. He's like, dude, I need some time to think. I need a Canyon Pizza.
It's not a bad way to go about it.
A dollar slice?
Yeah.
I don't know if I have much of an appetite after something
Yeah,
like that.
he's woofing down a dollar slice.
This actually has me thinking.
I need
am
something in my
starving.
body.
all this boy rape has me thinking. Slice of za would kill right now. God
starved.
damn, I'm hungry.
This is a tough one, and I don't make good decisions on an empty stomach.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
I'm gonna need a little food. For
They should have
thought
that
on
be a
this.
commercial for that pizza place, like the Snickers commercials. You're not yourself when you're hungry.
It's also far away from the stadium, so he like sat down in his car and drove.
Dude,
Oh,
imagine
yeah.
if Penn State did walking tours from like the shower to the fucking
Yeah.
pizza place.
Like the 9/11 museum.
Yeah.
This is the tissue box to use for cleanup.
This is
Believe it or not,
terrible.
he didn't even drive. He ran. And he got there in under 10 minutes. People say he was running at a 5-minute pace.
He earned his slice.
Yeah.
That's
That's the Penn State way. We are.
His fun to run ratio was off the charts. He actually burned 10 times the calories on the way there.
My sister is thinking about going to Penn State. Yeah,
I mean, she'll have the time for life.
that's what I said.
Oh man, imagine visiting her up there.
It'd be fun.
You got to do the Bryce Jordan Center.
What's that?
It's the arena.
Oh, yeah. I got to do a show
Oh,
there.
play it. Yeah.
Got to do a tight 10 there.
Or the Beaver Stadium.
Yeah, or maybe if they have just like a classroom or something.
The hub, play the hub. I mean, some of the classrooms are like 3,000 people.
Yeah.
Or what's the biggest one? Isn't there like a 3,000 person classroom?
I had like 2,000.
2,000 is insane.
By the way, Patriots doc, one thing that someone messaged me because we had talked about why Belichick benched Malcolm Butler for the Super Bowl. And I said something must have happened. He must have fucked Belichick's wife or something. And somebody messaged me, and I have no way of confirming or corroborating this whatsoever. But do you guys have any idea what the theory is for why he did that?
No.
Fucked his daughter or?
Fucked his son's girlfriend.
What?
Now, I have no idea. That is the feeblest, thinnest source.
I heard they ran a train with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah. Could be that this person who sent this to me made it up completely. I have no idea. But I'm just going to throw that out
if
there.
that's true, what a pussy move by him, by Bill Belichick, to bench him and let family get in the way of winning. That's everything that Bill Belichick shouldn't stand for.
I agree.
He should be like, I'll do whatever it takes to win. I'll deflate footballs. I'll spy on other people. I'll fly balloons and fucking wear binoculars.
Yep.
Since when does he have a moral compass where he's like, no, you had sex with my son? He doesn't even love his son.
No. And I will say too, I have my if that were true, then Malcolm Butler's utter sort of confusion is either such a good acting to cover it up. Well, I have no idea.
Yeah.
Why? I mean, certainly it wasn't that I fucked his son's girlfriend. So I don't know. That seems a little.
Are we not allowed to do that? I didn't know I wasn't allowed to do that.
I didn't know that broke the Patriot way.
Yeah.
I think that makes it way more of a reason to bench him.
Why?
Disobey the team like that?
Disobey? That's not like in the team rules, like show up early. If you're not early, you're late. And don't fuck my son's girlfriend.
Well, was his son one of the coaches at the time?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
No?
No, that was when his
Belichick?
son was like wearing lacrosse pennies to games, backwards hats.
No, that was 2017. He might have been.
Like special teams or something.
2017.
I think that is plenty of a reason to bench someone.
Yeah,
If
for
you
sure.
fuck one of the coach's girlfriends.
And it would
You're
be
probably
explained why
not gonna
Belichick
get-
never commented on it.
Yeah. You're probably not going to get a lot of playing time.
Short that shit out after the Super Bowl.
If you fucked one of Sandusky's boys, there's no way you're starting that game.
Why is Puslesny getting benched? Doesn't make any sense.
He took one of my boys.
I wonder who got that shit out there. It was probably an Eagles fan that found it out and like leaked it into because they played against the Eagles that year.
Yeah.
An Eagles fan probably saw Malcolm Smutler hot mouthing with fucking Stephen Belichick's boothang at a fucking local Chili's.
Yeah.
Took a picture of it and sent it up to Doug Peterson.
Dude, the fact that remember the Celtics coach and then Ime
Ime
Udoka, excuse me, that whole scandal broke, and then Stephen A. Smith was like, "This happens all the time."
Wait, what happened with this?
He fucked one of the owner's wife, right?
Yeah, something like
Or
Like
a front
managing
office
partner,
guy's
front office guy's wife.
wife,
Yeah.
and was like hitting on with women, but it was all, I think, consensual.
Yes.
I have no idea. Anyway, but they suspended him for the entire year. The head coach of the Celtics, a year after they
Oh,
were
shit.
like,
I remember this. Yeah.
Fired
you
him.
know, first in the East or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he had made it to the finals, I think, against the Warriors. And then he got fired. And Stephen A. Smith commented on it and was like, this happens all the time. I'm fully aware that players are always banging
Yeah.
the wives of like guys who come in and being like, all right, boys,
Yeah.
how are we doing this season? You know, let me
I
know
mean,
if you need tickets.
It kind of
Who did
makes
Tony
sense,
Parker do it with?
right?
Tony Parker-
smashed the whole team. Tim Duncan or Ginobili.
Yeah, Geno, or maybe I thought Michael Finley or some shit like
Might
that.
have been Boris, yeah.
I mean, it kind of makes
Tony
sense. They
Parker
probably
was
fucking
fun.
hate those guys.
Not only that, but
they
those
all
guys probably have
hot-ass wives.
good-looking wives
Yeah,
and
yeah.
girlfriends because they're rich.
Yeah.
Why not just
And-
fuck with one of these like whores that go to NBA games? These like jersey chasing Brazilian butt lift whores. Like, why do you have to go after the wife of another. That's like
It's forbidden
truly
fruit,
perverse.
man.
But also,
It's that taste.
Ime Udoka was married to Nia Long,
Yeah.
and Tony Parker was married to Eva
Longoria.
Longoria, two of like the hottest women that have ever walked the face of the earth.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's that old saying: if a man eats steak every single day, he's probably going to end up on the Joe Rogan Experience. Isn't that?
The Liver King. That's the saying.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's exactly the saying.
He's probably going to end up having to take a statin
Because his blood pressure is going to be through the roof.
Yes,
His
sticky
cholesterol,
lipid A protein.
His lipid A proteins are
Can't
going to be
handle
clogging
red
up his
meat.
heart.
at that frequency.
Rogan said though that fucking Bourdain was about to have to take a statin, and instead he just started doing jiu-jitsu. And
Yes,
his
I heard that.
sticky lipid A proteins completely got cleared up.
Uh-huh.
So Francis, maybe if you had just rolled a little bit.
Yeah.
One time I got cheated on by a college girlfriend and I started taking self-defense classes. I don't know if I ever told you that. True story.
Were you defending yourself against her hurting your feelings?
That's the problem.
Yeah.
She never got cheated on by a guy in the street who was like, put your hands up or I'll fuck your girlfriend with her blessing here in front of you. So I don't know. I was so mad that I thought I would have to fight the guy. And I was like, well, I don't really know how to do that. So I started taking street fighting self-defense classes.
And self-defense doesn't teach you how to attack.
No, it taught me how to disarm someone that had a knife. It was a lot of Krav Maga kind of shit.
Aikido.
And we were rolling around on these, I mean, the types of mats you'd find at a kindergarten that are like puzzle pieced together on a wooden floor in like a third floor walk up in the West Village.
It was in New York?
Yeah.
Oh my God, bro.
I did like one or two classes and it was so painful because nobody has control over their limbs.
Yeah.
So you're rolling around, you're trying to gain top mount.
You were going to wrestle him in the street?
I don't know. I was trying to get full guard in the fucking Harvard quad.
Oh my God.
And then throw some elbows, you know, that were not 10 to 2 pointing.
You knew the guy?
Yeah.
Do you think they were going to come for you?
No, that would be so crazy.
I just
if
thought I was just an idiot. I mean, I was so mad about it that I
Yeah,
thought
yeah.
I had to fight him for my honor, but he was bigger than I was, and I thought I could
Take
level
them down
the
with
playing
skill.
field by
Let's
taking-
even the odds.
by taking some self-defense classes.
But being mad enough to enroll in a class and then staying mad and then,
And then
going to a
going,
class
like
and then
waking
staying
up early
mad.
to go.
Yeah. No, it was all very a learning experience because I rolled around with this overweight sort of Asian guy and just him having like errant elbows and, you know, accidental shoulder smashes taught me that I don't want to do the real
You can
thing.
have her, keep her.
You know, we're trying not to hurt each other and I'm still getting hurt. So
Yeah. Damn. What? So did she? How
I
did you
just-
find out that she cheated?
she told me.
What?
Yeah.
And did she want to stay together, or was she like, "I'm leaving you"? What sport did he play?
I'm not even gonna say. I'm not gonna say. It's so bad.
Squash.
What was it like a
It was
combat
squash.
sport?
No.
Oh, no.
And he's bigger than you.
The
big
squash
guy,
team
dude.
is jacked.
They were big and wiry.
I
She
honestly don't
squished a
even know
squash
what
player?
squash is. If I saw squash, I'd say, what is that sport?
Come on, that's not true.
I don't think I know what it is.
You're from Massachusetts.
We weren't playing squash growing up.
It's like the home of squash.
Yeah.
Must be a Western Mass thing.
Definitely not. It's strictly Eastern Mass. You think
Yeah.
that they're at
Tyler,
fucking
you know squash?
Amherst playing squash?
Tyler doesn't know squash.
Squash-
If you saw squash, you might say, "Is that racquetball or squash?" But you'd know it was one or the
See,
other.
now it's narrowing it down.
They have squash
Paddle-
at Penn State.
paddle
I
sport.
played some squash at Penn
the
State.
Racquetball inside though.
Is it glass?
There's a glass. Usually, there's a glass back wall. Sometimes the whole court is glass if it's a really fancy squash.
Now I know
court.
squash.
And like there's a line that's like the net.
Yep.
The only time I've ever actually seen squash is in New Hampshire at a gym.
That's white as hell.
How about that?
Yeah. It
Yeah,
reminded
we
me
should
of,
play some
I saw
state.
this Reddit post the other day, or I guess it was on Twitter, and it was on r/meth. And the caption was just, X is coked out with new dude and said they're going to come shoot me.
They hit him up and said they're
We're
gonna shoot
going
him.
to shoot you.
We're gonna come shoot you. Fuck.
God damn it.
That if you're on meth and already paranoid, that has to put
Oh,
you over the
yeah.
top. That has to be enough to make you want to quit.
I gotta go to Reddit with this.
Yeah, what am I the asshole? r/am I the asshole? X says she's gonna come shoot me with her new boy.
Two sides to every story.
Oh,
Damn.
man.
Am I the asshole? It's hilarious.
Those posts grind my gears
Why?
because they're clearly never the asshole. It's always, am I the asshole? And it's obviously that
Yeah,
they're
it's
not who on earth would have called you the asshole?
That's not true. Sometimes they are the asshole.
I feel like I never see when they're the asshole. It's always like, wife fucked her boss and said she was going to murder our kids.
What?
So I took our kids and brought them to my parents' house. Am I the asshole? And everyone's like, God, no, and no way you're the
No,
asshole.
not
You're
the
The ones that I
saint."
see
Yeah.
are the ones that get pumped to the top usually are a little more, there's two sides of it.
Really?
You could argue either side. Here's one. Look at my traffic stopping thing.
Okay.
That I think is a great.
Is that on Am I the Asshole?
I think it got put on there.
What do people say?
You're blocking emergency vehicles or people who are needing to get to the. There's always someone who's like, just last week I was rushing my dad to the hospital
Yeah.
and someone did this and he died.
Yeah. and
Shame on you. It's
Yeah.
like you made that up.
Yeah.
Also,
yeah.
no one else has ever done that. That's a move that's unique to you.
People are doing it. I think you started something.
People send me videos of themselves.
People are doing it. I've been going into the Holland Tunnel and people are doing it.
That one's the worst.
Yeah.
Because they have to merge. There's no turn off.
Yeah.
And so you're just adding time to my commute.
Yes. I've been in that car driving and you see them come and I'm like looking and I'm like, you think you're better than all of us?
They
Like, you
go
get so-
fly.
oh.
It's just a flood of cars that use the breakdown lane, the shoulder, and there are signs that
There's
say
a shoulder in the Holland Tunnel?
Oh yeah.
before it,
Going to it.
Oh, got it.
and they are flooding past you. And each car that goes by, you do the math in your head, and you say that's
That's an extra
minute.
30 seconds.
That's another minute before I get home. I just let 20 minutes go by. of
It's
me sitting
unreal.
Here. It's infuriating. And
Yeah, but
they
if you
don't.
just did it yourself.
And then the most annoying thing is when the people let them merge.
I know.
If
If
you
we
go
all
have
agreed,
some fucking respect for yourself and don't let them merge.
I agree with that.
Why are you
cannot
letting them
let
merge? I'm this close
this
to the car in
close,
front of
I
me.
will risk a fender bender.
I'm like, you're not merging. Not in
And
front of me.
if someone fender benders you from behind and their excuse is I wasn't going to let them merge, you have to let that go.
Oh,
Let-
I'll pay for that damage.
Yeah. You
'Cause
do
we-
not let them merge.
We are human centipeding our cars. We are linking like a train to prevent them.
I was driving to Philly this past weekend and it was thick traffic. Everyone's going fast. And a guy tried to like pass me to get in front of me to get into like the fast lane of traffic. It's like, dude, you would not be going any faster than me. I'm not letting you fucking get past me.
Yeah, fuck
I'm
that.
going to stay like if I have to stay a half car length behind this person, you're not getting in front of
Yeah.
me. He's like driving next to me, like trying to fucking mean mug
Yeah.
me. Fat guy, Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah.
Should be walking.
Says it all.
I got into it though. So when you get off the Holland Tunnel and then it's still traffic outside of that.
The curve part. Yeah.
So I'm out of there.
Are you talking about going to New Jersey or coming back into the city?
coming back into the city?
Yeah, the curve.
Yeah.
thing.
And when you're out of the curve, then there's those stoplights, and
Yeah.
that's where there's a lot of traffic sometimes. And there was a guy that was trying to go around me, and I wouldn't let him go around. And then he got stuck behind me, and so we're in a lot of traffic. And I look in my rear view window, and he's looking behind me, waving. And I was like, "Yeah, joke's on you, dumbass. Now you still have to sit in traffic. Why are you waving at me? I was already in the traffic.
And also
Why are you acting like I lost? I was in the traffic that I was in for.
I mean, in the 80s, 90s, even early 2000s, the way to get back at someone like that would be flip them off.
Yeah,
Now the way is give them a thumbs up.
yeah,
That will enrage someone.
yeah.
You give someone a thumbs up, or even if they do something to you, you're like, oh yeah, real cool, buddy.
yeah.
Thumbs up is the new middle finger. There's no doubt in my mind that there's no bigger aggression than the thumbs up.
Thumbs up is good.
It's passive aggressive.
Oh
for
yeah,
sure.
good job, buddy.
Yeah.
Even if you text message someone a thumbs up, it is an affront. Have you
Yeah,
ever been
that's
text
true.
messaged like not even the thumbs up on a text message? Okay, that's fine. But if you find the emoji of the thumbs up and send it, you're like, oh fuck you.
Mm.
Yeah. Even liking the message though is usually pretty nasty.
Yeah, with a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Like, cause exclamation point, one of
Yeah.
those.
Heart.
Thumbs up is heart. Thumbs up is crazy.
Yeah.
It is a crazy, not even microaggression.
That's just
Macroaggression.
mean.
Massive aggression.
Massive aggression. Diego, clip this, get this to the masses. They need to know.
Yeah, but I never thought I was a road rage guy. I was always like, yeah, no,
It
I don't.
finds you.
I'm just going. I was like, I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna get there when I get there. It's not a big deal. The Holland Tunnel is a different level of rage.
Dude, I posted that clip again, the original one, and it
Yeah.
did exactly the same thing that it did 2 years ago.
Yeah, dummy viral.
It's got like 5,000 comments. Chains of people, fucking 89 comments long, just arguing
Arguing.
with each other, screaming at each other. And a lot of people being like, try that in Chicago. I dare you.
Yeah.
I hope you come to Chicago. I'm waiting. And I'm like, I'm not coming to Chicago.
Yeah.
I'm not going to rent a car in Chicago. Go to your busiest fucking tunnel entry and do exactly this.
But it's also like, and if you do, what? You're gonna kill me?
Yeah.
You're gonna murder me?
Yeah, there's enough.
You're gonna go to jail for life?
Yeah.
I bet there's people in Chicago who would do this. There's enough principled, fat Polish guys with open carries and handlebar mustaches
Yeah.
that would fucking do this shit.
Yeah.
Protect the people.
People love saying that, like, oh, try that in this town. It's like, and what? What's gonna happen?
Yeah, I usually just lie when sometimes I'll respond. I used to respond. I don't anymore, but I would write back. I actually did that in Detroit 3 weeks ago and nothing happened. You know,
The gangs had my back.
it was fine.
They said that road rage comes from a survival instinct, though, because you have such a heightened sense of everything that's going on because you're driving a car at a speed where the slightest turn could kill you. So you have this heightened awareness of everything that's going on,
Yeah.
and it raises all of your temperatures. And so if somebody's like something that wouldn't really piss you off because you are so heightened and so on edge and so aware of your mortality, how it's literally in your hands, then you're at a point where it's like, fuck you, you're going to fucking get ahead of me, like threaten me, threaten my life.
Yeah, but I get that when the driving is dangerous from the standpoint of we're going fast, someone did something dangerous, you're putting my survival at risk. When you're stopped in traffic, you're not really at that risk.
True. Maybe
Then
it
it's just
carries into it.
Fury over having
Or it's
time
the late,
added.
yeah, it's the time. Your time is being wasted.
I will say, when I'm in a cab going from like Newark to my apartment,
It's not your
and
fault.
they-
You
no,
can't
but-
stop
and-
them from doing
but
it.
they cut
That's
over.
what I'm saying.
Oh, I'm not complaining at all. I'm
No,
like,
I
yeah,
know,
fuck
but-
yeah. I'm like, fuck those guys. Those guys
but
are all
you can-
dumbasses waiting in line.
You can justify it by saying
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
not going to tell your driver how
Yeah.
to do his job.
Yeah.
He doesn't speak English.
No. Yeah, he's innocent.
You're not going to use Google Translate to say, "Senor,
Please wait in line.
please obey the social contract.
Yeah.
We're all in this together. We are one people
Yeah.
of Earth."
Yeah, you're not going to try and guess his ethnicity like some Andrew Schultz crowd work.
I left enough time, for 15 minutes at the Delta Lounge. Should I?
Yeah, huffing and puffing on the way to the airport. It's way more stressful. On the way home, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
There's never traffic on the way to the airport.
I
for
don't
me.
get this. I don't get this phenomenon that I mentioned though, which is when people do make up these fucking bullshit stories to comment and say, you know, I was driving my infant son who was having an asthma attack to the hospital the other day, and someone did this, and now my son.
They want to,
is
because they're
gone.
enraged by your post, and they want to justify their rage with some type of scenario where it would have been appropriate for them to have that much rage, where they shouldn't give a fuck about your post.
Well, they're just, to me, it's like you're making that up to weirdly virtue signal, or potentially you do have a son and you're imagining a nightmare scenario where this would make you really angry.
That's what it is.
But you're testing karma by invoking your child's death or your
Yeah.
older father's death.
It's a weird fantasy.
I don't get it. Yeah, it's
It's like when Big Cat was telling. Have you ever heard Big Cat tell the story about when he, the guy that created Quest bars,
I don't know.
and they
that
had him
story.
on Part of My Take, And they're like, so like, what was like the inspiration behind Quest bars? And he was like, I imagined my wife and my daughter getting raped in the middle of the night and I wouldn't be able to defend them. And they were like, all right.
Yes,
That's
throwing
a
Quest
weird-
bars at a potential rapist.
Yeah.
One of the most tried and true thwarting techniques.
Yeah.
Now in Ninja Star.
Yeah, they were like, that's a weird thought to be having.
Don't hit that house on 32 West Elm. They've got a pantry full of fucking cookies and cream Quest bars.
Yeah,
I've heard they've even got the tortilla chips in that house.
Success does sound sweet, but then you look at some of the mindsets that people have to go to find success for themselves, and it's like it's probably not worth it.
No, they're all nuts. That's like what Whiplash is about.
Yeah.
How so?
Because he's insane. And he's like doing all these things to be one of the greats.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like he's crazy.
I don't need to be one of the greats.
That's why he gets like hit by the 18-wheeler and then he still runs to the venue and they're like, dude, you're fucking nuts.
Can't people just low-key become one of the greats?
Yeah, me. You're watching it. You're witnessing it right now.
I think being one of the
Nonchalant
greats is
as
a
hell.
ridiculous dream.
Like Bob Dylan, he would have low-key became one of the greats, except for he had to have that 14-year-old.
Bingo.
Bob Dylan is one of the greats.
No, he's a child rapist.
No. And also Michael
No?
Jackson is one of the greats as well. So let's be honest.
No, he's not, bro. I don't listen to any of his catalog anymore.
Yeah, you do. You were
Hold
just
me
listening.
like the River Jordan.
You were just listening to Billie Jean on the way over here.
No, you know what? My favorite Michael Jackson song is Human Nature, which is definitely about pedophilia.
Yeah.
Why tell them that it's human nature?
Mhm.
What are you justifying, Michael?
The weirdest Michael
Can't
Jackson
keep
video is the
living
one
this
where
way.
what's his name pushes him into the pool. Who's the little boy that he
Macaulay
definitely
Culkin?
got? Macaulay Culkin. And he
That's
pushes
right.
him to the pool.
That's nasty work.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know the video.
It's uncomfortable to
Sounds
watch.
like you've watched it a couple too many times. Sounds like you know every detail.
No. That's
Why'd
why
you-
I just said, have you seen the video? And then I can't name anything that happens in the video aside from him getting pushed in the pool.
Sounds like you were really
Don't try and twist my
fixated on
words.
that
Don't try and
on
twist
that
my
one
words.
part. Sounds like you were fucking weirdly obsessed with Macaulay Culkin.
I will say the
Macaulay
Diddy
Culkin.
thing has me thinking. The Diddy thing has me thinking. It's like, how many pedophiles are really out there? It's starting to feel like it's got to be like 50%.
No, that seems high. Well, you'd have to imagine there are a lot that have it and have the control not to act on it.
Yeah, most. I would say most.
You think?
Yeah, definitely.
I wonder.
I think that I think it's the other way around. I think that like so many of them have been squeezed out, and there's few enough of them right now, and so but there's too many labels to go around for pedophiles, so they are slapping labels of pedophile on whoever fucking they can get a hold of.
Mm.
I don't know, dude. It's like you got the Epstein shit, which is like every famous white person. Then you got the Diddy thing, which is pretty much every famous black person. And then you got like, I just watched that Quiet on Set documentary last week. It's like there was 3 pedophiles working on the set, just coincidentally.
But these are places. I mean, at least the last
The
one.
Quiet on Set, where
It's-
pedophiles would work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's an
Hotbeds.
industry
Yeah.
where you would go.
If
Yeah.
you like animals, you
were-
work at the zoo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking that when I was watching it because they were like, there was like an interview with Dan Schneider when they came out with what is it, All That, the sketch show,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and he was like, there was just
God,
no.
I loved that.
He was like, no one was making good kids sketch shows. It's like, yeah, because all of the sketch comedy writers wanted to work for SNL
yeah, right.
and didn't want to work for kids.
Yeah, they didn't have a sexual
in Living
perversion.
Color,
That was
right?
Yeah.
there were other
pushing
good
them-
sketch shows at
yeah,
that time.
they wanted to work for a famous
Mad TV
adult
Show.
sketch
Edge of the
show.
Hall.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? I wanted to say about the pedophile thing. I think I heard that in Japan there is always this thought of like manufacturing child sex dolls to satisfy the urges of
Yes.
would-be pedophiles.
Yeah, I saw that.
And it's controversial because it's twisted in a way, but the theory is that if they're able to take out those urges here, it at least satisfies them so that they don't
Does it though?
I don't know.
Because if there's an adult that is like a virgin, kind of a weirdo who has a sex doll, they probably want to fuck girls more after they fuck.
You're
the
saying
sex
it's
doll.
giving them a taste for blood.
Yeah, they're like, well, now I want to fuck the
There's
actual
blood in the water.
thing.
Well,
Or they
what's
could just accompany the child sex doll with like a 25-year prison sentence that comes in the same box.
Yeah, true. Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
If I know
Anyone who orders
pedophiles
it.
as well as I
Yeah.
think I do, Sass,
Yes.
on this one,
Mhm.
right? If they're not using
Yeah,
those Japanese
the floor is yours.
sex dolls, then they're probably watching child pornography,
Yes.
which is going to have a similar effect.
That is
no?
true. That is true.
They're fanning the flames of the
Yeah.
fantasy until they can't handle it anymore.
Yeah. The weird thing about all these guys is they are organized pedophiles.
I don't know. That seems generous.
Have you ever seen? I mean,
Dude, quiet on set. This guy had like file cabinets for each of his victims.
but these are the prolific. I mean, you're talking about the Babe Ruth of pedophiles.
You're talking
right now.
about guys that have documentaries made after them.
Yeah, these
True.
are the greats. These aren't the guys
Yeah.
that are.
This is the Mount Rushmore of pedophiles.
These aren't guys that are just like stumbling on.
All right, today's Mount Rushmore.
All right, today's draft. We're gonna do a snake draft of pedophiles.
Yeah.
Eddie, who do you got? But the guys who are getting caught on To Catch a Predator, or I mean, To Catch a Predator has spawned a dozen vigilante shows where they just catch guys in Walmarts.
But that's
Right.
that's another reason to think like, okay, it's got to be common enough to the point that if they made an entire hit reality TV show on it, like they couldn't do To
But
Catch a Predator about
it's-
people who fuck animals.
It's like that Louis bit though
Yeah,
that
because
you
there's no
talked
chat
about.
rooms
Yeah.
for
That
elephants.
it is so many people's mortal fear, even if they have no proclivity towards it at all. A lot of people have had that nightmare, right?
yeah. What? No.
Louis has that bit.
Which one? I was thinking of the animal one. Now I'm thinking of the SNL monologue one.
No, it's not the SNL monologue. It's on the
What's
album
the
for which
nightmare?
he won the Grammy.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
where
be
he talks
specific
about
the
how
nightmare.
like even people who have no fantasy or urges whatsoever and are normally wired still have that terrifying fear, just as like we all do,
that they're gonna fuck a kid.
or that they're going to be accused of it.
Oh, yes,
Oh, yeah.
yes.
That they're going to be
yeah,
accused
yeah,
of. Isn't that what he says?
Yes.
I don't know. He has one bit. Are you thinking of the one where his girlfriend sends him the little girl's panties?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's exactly the bit.
yeah.
That's
Or
the
he
exact
doesn't
bit.
want to throw them out.
yeah, because his
He
He's like,
worries.
he doesn't
yeah,
even want
it's
the
such a
trash
good
man to
bit.
find
Yeah.
them in his
Yeah.
He's like, I can't chop them up and place them in different ditches along the country.
Yeah, because it's like, having someone completely fabricate that you are that way, or that someone's gonna believe it.
like Diddy.
Yeah. He has another bit though on the SNL monologue where he's talking
Is
about
the Diddy thing fake?
If it is, wouldn't we all feel kind of rotten about ourselves?
probably.
We've jumped to conclusions. He hasn't had a single charge levied against him.
They were saying that he got JB though.
Jordan Berry.
Justin Bieber, bro. Come on now. Stay up.
Damn.
They're saying he got JB and they're saying that
Yeah, of course they're saying that. Like Dom Lucre is saying that.
and they're saying that the Nickelodeon guy got Leo DiCaprio, which he did for sure. Have you seen the video?
That he like hugs him.
He's like rubbing his arms.
Hmm.
Really weird.
I mean, I saw them saying he got JB because he like patted his chest. I don't know. That's how Pat Bev like greets me.
See if we're in a wire.
Yeah.
Okay then.
Son of a boy.
Yeah, that's been son of a boy dad.
I'll be in Philadelphia.
Anyways.
But back to your experiences with the Catholic Church.
Word.
Let's go back to talking about your time in Boston with the Catholic Church.
Bro, you were literally second mile.
That's Francis's joke that you're fucking repackaging.
I'm bringing it
as
Yeah,
your
back.
own.
I butchered it,
I'm
so he
bringing
can
all.
clean it up if he
it's
wants.
anyone's. It's open.
No, he wouldn't have even had the reference.
No, he wouldn't have.
Now
You're
I do.
absolutely right.
Now I do, bro. Adding fuel to the fire.
Yeah.
You do not want to give me any ammunition. Killer like me.
You put a fucking bullet in a killer's gun, you know someone's going down.
Exactly.
I thought there was more. We had more on this though. I don't think we've closed the loop here.
It's been a lot of pedophile talk.
Yeah, we do that though. That's one of our big ones.
Safe to assume this one will not be getting monetized.
Wait,
So
my wife
go
just
ahead and play
texted
that
me.
whole Slug Christ song.
My wife just texted me. She said, "Oh no, Sass stayed at the same hotel as we are."
No. No.
Listen to the episode.
By the way,
no.
we did 20 minutes on Slug Christ, and you guys were talking about it, and I was thinking to myself, I haven't spoken in a while, and then I looked down and realized I was wearing a cream shawl cardigan,
Yeah.
and I thought, this isn't really the outfit for a Slug Christ weigh-in.
No, it isn't. But I bet there are some guys out there who listen to Slug Christ who dress like you.
Now because they found Jesus.
They found Jesus. They found the real Christ.
Did Slug Christ, does he rap about Jesus?
Only slugging of Christ I want to do is when I'm chugging some church wine. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Duk, 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 duk.
Oh, yeah.
Then I'm slugging
that
Christ.
blood.
Yeah. Okay, we don't have to talk about pedophile.
Let's record
Stuff
again tomorrow.
anymore.
Let's bank one tomorrow.
Does that mean that we have to bank one tomorrow?
No, it doesn't mean we have to, but it'd be good to get ahead of it.
It would.
I will not be here.
I'm thinking about your comment you made about how you think there are a lot out there that are not acting on it, that have the restraint.
You think that there's sleeper cell pedophiles that are like willing to be activated if the laws just get changed, they'll wake up like the Terminator and like their eyes will blink and they'll
Dude, there's gay
rush to
people.
a-
There's gay dudes who don't act on their gay urges ever. And that's accepted.
What do you mean? What do you mean it's
What
accepted?
parallel are you
How do
drawing?
nobody knows. What do you mean it's accepted?
What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? That's
No,
accepted?
you don't get to what do you mean what do you mean?
I'm saying that thinking that there's not pedophiles out there that are not fucking kids. There's gay dudes out there who aren't fucking dudes,
but
and that's legal
why
and
is that
accepted.
why is that
Yeah,
birds
what's
of a
the-
feather there? Why does that
Yeah, what
denote
parallel are you
one
drawing from
denote the other?
pedophiles and gay dudes?
I'm saying it's like an urge that they're resisting.
Well, then you could say that there are people resisting the urge to put their penis in a handsaw.
I don't think that's as common.
You'd be surprised.
I think
I
that
mean,
was
two
a
of the
pretty.
three of
I think
us.
that was a pretty reasonable comparison that I made.
You could make up any urge that people
Well, I'm
are
talking
not
about
acting
sexual
on.
urges that people don't act on.
One is like a
I guess you could say there are straight people out there who aren't.
So you're
fucking
arguing
straight
There's
that-
as fuck.
furries who don't dress up in costumes. There's
Yeah, exactly.
so you're arguing that pedophile is just an orientation.
That's a interesting point. That it's an orientation and it's not their fault.
That's your argument. That you're arguing for maps for minor attracted persons.
If you say that being gay is not a choice, then you would say that being a pedophile is not a choice. By your
Look,
logic.
you guys have kind of walked me into a little bit of a tough place to speak on, where I feel like I don't really know what the right answer is.
Yeah, because you're a map. Deep
If I
down.
had to guess, I would assume being a pedophile is something you're born with.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I actually don't know that I disagree with that.
I would
Oh,
assume there's
no.
not a dude out there who's fucking like hot girls all the time who's like, yeah, I'm going to start fucking kids probably. That seems like a good route to take with no actual. I mean, if you want to fuck kids, you want to fuck kids.
I'm glad this is this deep in the episode that you're saying this because this is the worst thing you've ever said.
I don't. It's a.
Is
it's
it
a
crazy?
weird
What is
point.
the other? What's the other
It-
option?
It follows Louis' argument on the monologue, which is that the consequences are so bad that why would anyone ever make the choice to do that?
Because they're predators and this is prey.
I could see.
This is
I
like-
could see you getting your brain rewired enough to a point that you are like all of a sudden you want to fuck kids.
It's because you want to have sexual experiences.
Like, if you get
and these
molested-
are people who are malleable enough that you could mold their mind into doing what you want because they don't have fully formed brains.
Yeah, that's probably the more sort of psycho.
Yeah, lead with that next time instead of letting me ramble on about what I think. If you have some well thought out opinion on it, don't let me say my
I
dumbass
just thought
opinions.
of this opinion right now, but it came to me as common sense that they're called sexual predators.
Like you're late. Everyone's waiting for me to speak up on what I think about.
I
if
want to
it's a
know your
choice or
opinions,
not.
and you're like, yeah, it's not their fault. Actually,
I don't
We-
have
we
an
shouldn't
opinion.
Even throw them in
I don't
jail.
have an opinion, and I never said it's not their fault.
You definitely have an opinion.
no.
You voiced opinions and
voiced
then
your
walked
opinion.
them back.
Because we're on a podcast,
Yeah,
I
you
can't just
voiced your
not have an opinion.
Yes,
you gotta
you
have
can.
some sort of
Oh,
opinion.
yes, you can, brother.
Oh, there's a mic in front. I guess I better say something. In no way do I actually subscribe to this belief.
I don't think that pedophiles are good people.
Thank you. Thank you. Wow. Whew. Glad we clarified that notion.
Yeah, but you saying it so plainly like that makes it seem like he thinks he doth protest too much.
Well, in all of like the movies and stuff about serial killers who usually are fucking their victims and stuff, they're all like they all were molested as a child.
Those are the great.
No, the question I would have then is being a serial killer something you're born with?
No, it's usually if your mom hates you. That's
Then-
what I took away
you've
from
got-
Mindhunter.
Don't
at
you
least.
have well-adjusted, well-raised serial killers? Doesn't that happen?
Yeah, I
Brian
guess.
Laundrie or whatever the fuck that dude's name is. I never followed that story, but didn't they have a nuclear family?
I don't think he was.
Was that the guy that put his wife and kids in the grain silo?
No, Brian Laundrie is the Gabby Petito guy, and he wasn't a serial killer.
Oh,
I don't know. I didn't follow this case. I don't have this womanly obsession with serial killers like you do.
I don't either, but I know Brian Laundrie because it was the biggest news story probably in the last 5 years.
that was Gabby Petito's killer?
Yeah.
I didn't know his name.
I'm glad we kept going so we could unearth your fucking.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
dude, you're gonna want to cut a lot.
I don't give a goddamn about what we cut. All I know is I'm going to be in Providence, Rhode Island next week, or this weekend. Sorry, not next weekend. I'm going to be in Providence, Rhode Island tonight. Tonight. Thursday night. Tonight. And tomorrow night and the next night. So please come.
I'll be in Philly all weekend.
There's plenty of tickets already sold for that. Let's really focus in on Providence, Rhode Island this weekend.
Providence, I mean, if you're Boston, like you come down to Providence pretty easy. Come up from,
Yeah, travel.
Connecticut.
Mhm.
That's a fun place to go to over a weekend. Or if you're a friar, if you go to the school there at Providence,
Yeah.
that's one of the funnest party schools.
It is.
Yeah.
Providence College is
Great
really
school.
good. Yeah.
Good fly fishing out there too. Bringing my
Oh,
rod.
Jesus.
Jesus fucking.
Bringing my wand out there. Brandon Walker texted me yesterday. And he goes, I hope you're doing well. And I said, what? And he said, I hope you're doing okay. Don't make this weird. And I was like, did someone die? I said, I thought Roan died. That was my instant thought, was like Roan died. And like it was in the Yak group chat and I hadn't read the news yet.
That's so funny because last time you texted Brandon Walker, you just said some random shit to him and he acted weird towards you.
Yeah, that's true.
And now you're doing
I'm
the
looking
exact
back at our
same
old
thing.
message. I said, is Penix Jr. better than Jaden Daniels? And he said, no. And then I said, we'll see. And he said, then why'd you ask?
So you guys just have this fucking icy relationship where
He
you're
texted me
nasty to
at
each other.
7 p.m. and said, God damn it, I hope you're doing well. And I said, what the hell does that mean? and he said, I hope you're doing okay. And I said, I'm doing fine. Why? Did something happen? And he said, I'm just saying hello. Don't be weird about it. And I said, I thought Roan died. And he said, well, now you made it weird. And I said, you've lost your goddamn mind.
I hope you're doing okay is very different from I hope you're doing well. Those two messages carried very different connotations.
It's a little bit of a weird message to get at 7:30 p.m.
He's just probably happy that you're not betting his sister.
Probably.
I think him
yeah.
saying "God damn it, I hope you're doing well" would assuage any worry I might have. That
I think when he said, God
is
damn it.
comforting me.
Yeah. I think he said that because I read the messages last time and he probably got back to him.
Oh right.
Right.
You mentioned that he was your best friend,
Well, he is.
which is very funny.
Yeah.
Odd couple.
One of my
He
best
should come to
friends.
England with us.
He did text and say, next
Not a
time you
bad
go
idea.
fishing, let me know. And send
Yeah,
me,
but he
send me a
doesn't. He
picture.
like pond fishes.
I hate to break it, bro. I've been doing some pond fishing and it is
No.
fun as hell. Yeah.
Oh no.
That's where I caught that big ass bass this weekend.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where you catch the
Yeah.
bass in the fucking ponds.
It was very fun.
Yeah, probably because you're shooting fish in a barrel.
It's so easy.
Right.
I mean, it's so easy.
Yeah. All right, that's it.
All right. Providence, Rhode Island this weekend. Little Sasquatch website.com.
no, Philly. Come see Francis.
Goodbye.
FrancisEllis.com.